Yeah, you know what time it is. It's time for the Geekenders podcast. MegaRan, Jesse and Dodger, what up? Let's go. Yo, it's the weekend. Yeah, it's time to geek out. Let it begin. Go on, stream and shout. It's Jesse and Dodger, so give them a follow and see what the Geekenders are all about. Yo, it's the weekend. Yeah, it's time to geek out. Let it begin. Go on, stream and shout. It's Jesse and Dodger, so give them a follow. #1 geek podcast, without a doubt. Yo, another end of another long week. Got a job and a kid, I know that you all beat. So take a second, grab a drink and vibe while we catch you up in just a matter of time. On gaming, comics, whatever you're doing. If you're nerdy like us, then you know you should tune in. Thank you for sharing our world with us. Now follow, subscribe, and turn this up. Yo, it's the weekend. Yeah, it's time to geek out. Let it begin. Go on, scream and shout. It's Jesse and Dodger, so give them a follow. #1 geek podcast, without a doubt.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Geekenders. I couldn't find the button. Hello! Welcome to a very special Geekenders. We have an amazing guest today. Very, very excited.
Sorry, the old ones are the old ones, aren't they?
Gentlemen, boys, girls, children of all ages. Today, we are blessed by actor, performer, BAFTA nominee, all-around nice person, Samantha Béart has joined us. You may know Sam from The Excavation of Hobbs Barrow, or the Ace Attorney Chronicles, or even this little game, I haven't played it yet, I hear it's good, called Baldur's Gate 3. I guess it's doing pretty well in some circles of the internet.
Yeah.
I hear it's fine. I hear it's all right.
It's a slow burn, Jesse. It's a slow burn.
Right. Yeah, it's one of those I hear it takes a while to get into. Like, I certainly wouldn't create a character that at some point had to be held down by Karlach in order to save him from his own dark urges that were going to threaten to kill everyone, and it formed a love story that stood the test of time, and we went into the pits of hell in order to defeat evil for the rest of eternity. I certainly wouldn't do that. That seems very weird. But for our purposes, I met Samantha at what I can only describe as a darkly lit, secret, I'm assuming cult meeting, featuring Sam Lake and musical recording artist Poe. So I assume like that, I feel like that's a normal thing in LA that happened. But because of that, and now here we are. Which is amazing. And now we're here. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was back in November. It's been a while.
It has been a while.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. You were very shy. And then I realized who you were when I went home. I went, mother of...
You messaged me and were like, why didn't you say something? Because I am terrible at promoting myself. I always feel awkward being like, hi, I do stuff on the internet. And I never do that. I'm just bad at it.
I think you literally were like, I do stuff on the internet, and it was like trying to get blood out of a stone, because I'm going, I know the face. And when someone's in front of you in 3 dimensions, it's not in a box on a screen. It's just really hard to place you. And it just took me that. They call it a spirit d'escalier, spirit of the staircase. As you're going away, you go
That happens frequently.
Normally with like clever comebacks, right? The perfect thing to say, always afterwards.
Yes. Yeah. No, I vividly remember being like, I'm a big fan. I think your work is great. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go now.
Yeah, it was pretty much that. Well remembered.
Jesse is very rarely shy, so I love imagining this.
Well, now I know about the Dark Urge romance. It's all making a lot of sense.
That's why, yeah.
That's what it is.
I don't want to, I always feel weird being like, yes, I definitely, with the character that you played in this game, had a ongoing romance. Like, I'm like, don't make this weird. Just don't make it weird, Jesse. Don't make it weird. And I'm like, hello, it's so nice to meet you.
I'm used to it. When I do signings at cons, everyone's confessing their sins, their love, all the things that I
really wants you to know the impact.
They really want me to know and to okay it, to sanction it.
Right. They search your face for approval.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like,
Look.
it's your game. You do what you need to do. I don't need to know necessarily everything, really everything. But I'm glad you're having a good time.
Yeah, I will say I very much enjoyed the fact that it wasn't. I think some of the other playthroughs of that game I've had, it's been like an extremely I'm evil. Here's my evil girlfriend. We get naughty together all the time. This version was like, I'm a bad guy who wants to be good, and I found love and a person who's also broken, and we're just gonna go to hell and beat the crap out of demons together for eternity. I was like, that rules. That's it. It was like a totally different vibe, and I was here for it and loved every minute of it.
It's conflict. That's drama. That is.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want a swell to the story.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I love how, I don't want to do spoilers, but I love how the exact scene you were talking about where Karlach will take control of the situation. She's so ride or die at that point. Early on in the game, she's like, I didn't sign up for this. I'm out of here. And then by then she's like, oh my God, we've all made mistakes. It's fine. I've murdered people in cold blood too. Yeah. I'll work it out. Fine.
Yeah. True love.
True love.
We all murder people every now and again, but it's what you do
sweet.
after that.
It's oddly sweet, guys.
That's right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm, amazing. I'm so excited to have you on here. I'm excited that you said you brought books to talk about.
You still told me to bring things to talk about, like outside of games.
Like, I've been reading. I love that so much.
If you caught me a few weeks ago, I'd be like, I haven't read a book since I graduated from my English literature degree many years ago. But now that's changed. I started reading some books recently, and I watched a movie.
What?
Yeah. I
on this show?
Enjoy movies very much.
I saw The Substance, and now I'm obsessed. You know how like with people with ADHD, you give them amphetamine and they calm down, like they have the opposite effect of what it is on a neurotypical brain. That's me and extreme horror. It's very calming. I find it quite hard to watch gory or slasher films because I'm like, yeah, special effects are good, but this has such like the sort of main tale. It's kind of like a very dark fairy tale if you haven't seen it. Well, I watched the first half. I fell asleep on the plane. I slept the sleep of bastards. It was full out, just out. Then they woke me up for breakfast. Okay, I'm not that hard. I made a mistake of having a bacon roll with lots of ketchup for the second half. But I got through it. Yeah. And I think it's a masterpiece. I've come out and watched it again. I've been watching interviews with Coralie Fargeau, the director. It's been amazing.
Lots of ketchup for the second half of that movie is a mistake. You're absolutely correct.
Eating
is a bloody
mistake.
Ending. Yeah.
I loved it. The Substance. It's Demi Moore and Margaret Qualley were nominated for Oscars and all sorts.
Pitch it to me. What is it?
Body horror. Extreme body horror. Right, that's the first thing, because if you don't like that, you're not going to have a good time.
Yeah, imagine a tale about a Hollywood actor who has aged and is looking at the world of Hollywood around them and thinking, I remember being beautiful and young, and I would give anything to have that again. And that anything leads to one of the craziest but awesomest movies I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah.
You've given her a lot of status there, though. She's like a fitness instructor. She's like a kind of Jane Fonda. And she looks amazing at 50. That's kind of the sad center of the film. And she looks incredible. It's Demi Moore, who's 10 years older than the character she's playing.
Right.
And she's being, at the very beginning, they fire her. She's too old. And so that's the end of her world. And she's given, it seems a sort of devil's bargain. Would you like to be a younger, more beautiful version of yourself?
It's very good. It has that cool thing that a lot of great horror movies do.
But I'm nervous to watch.
You should be. Oh, you should be.
It's freaky. It's super freaky. But
and then the third act is just insane. It's bonkers. I love it so
bonkers.
Much.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you love things like, Cronenberg, Suspiria, I think is another influence. Elephant Man's in there. There's so many great horror. Carrie is in there really as well, but a lot of Cronenberg, The Fly and Videodrome, Scanners, it's all in there. But I think if you're if you don't like long sequences of gore, it might not be the film for you.
I got you. I feel like it depends on how they're going about it. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Like,
well, I mean, because I've been thinking about it, it's as if the gore is like a manifestation of the inner turmoil,
right.
because it's so eating her up inside, and I think that's quite hard to show on screen. So then you have that body, like physical side, and it's grotesque and it's unbearable, and you will have feelings. And I think that's the genius of using that genre rather than trying to fit in within that genre, if that makes sense. And I think that's what Cronenberg always did really well as well, with his more extreme horror as well. If that makes sense.
It has a point to it. It isn't just like a slasher film. It's one of those movies where by the end you're like, I got a moral message out of this, which I think is always good for horror, where it tells you something more than just a bunch of people died and the bad guy, maybe he got away. There's like a layer to this that's great. Yeah, very good.
If you've recently gotten back into reading, there's a novella. It will take you like no time to read. There's a novella that I would recommend called Helpmeet. That is a little body horror-y and very like introspective about like the human experience. But it's really, really good. It's by Nabin Ruthnam. It's like 100 pages. But I still think about that book all the time. Because of the way that they used the like body horror element in it, you know? So that's why I'm like, depending on how the body horror feels in the movie, I might really enjoy it. But
exactly.
It depends. So
you'll know pretty quick. I mean, it doesn't pull its punches. You'll know pretty quick.
Yeah. Fair enough.
I got two very different books. If you want me to talk about them briefly, I can come back to it. How much time you've got, really? So this is like the really serious one. On camera, Lives of the Stoics, because I'm sort of some of us are quite naturally stoic. I think I'm naturally stoic, but this writer Ryan Holiday, and his great presence online, little quotes every day. He normally writes about the same 3 people, and this is about 20 people that were part of that early school in Greece, and they're really fascinating because you've got Marcus Aurelius, he was an emperor, right, and you've got Epictetus, who was a former slave, and they both come to the same conclusions. I think that's absolutely fascinating.
How would you describe Stoicism for people who are like, I don't know what Stoics is?
I would say it's actually the basis of modern therapy. I think if you see it that way, one of the first things they say is to, control the things you can control and let go of things that you can't. There's no point in working yourself up into an emotional turmoil when there's nothing you can do about it. Unfortunately, a lot of people interpret that as have no feelings ever. It's not about that. It's more about being your own therapist, and the answers are within. Some of it was living a good life. How do we live a good life if you're not religious? And it's about making your own rules and sticking to them, really. And that can be anything. You could be a really bad person, as long as you stick to those rules. I guess you're stoic. So it's not a religion. It's a kind of philosophy, but it's loosey goosey for that reason, that we are supposed to find our own meaning in all of it. I watch chat tell me I'm wrong. And then I've got another book.
Don't look at them.
This is a fun story. I was at San Diego Comic-Con, and Penguin were there, the publishers, which I'm not used to seeing at any cons. It was very fancy. And I saw this book. I'm just a little bit delayed on the feed. There we go. This is Gale Decarius, right? This is Gale. Clearly.
Very clearly, yes.
Yeah, and he's got dice around him and all that. And I was cracking up. I put it on Instagram and I said, of course, Gale's in a romance book. The author, Lenora Woods, tracked me down a couple of weeks later, as is her right. That's Fan Expo Boston. I've just come back from that. And she said, no, it's not Gale. It's got nothing to do with Gale. But thank you for mentioning it. And we signed each other's books. So I wrote some quotes from Gale at quotes from Karlach about Gale and books in general. And she wrote, happy adventuring without Gale. But I will be imagining Gale.
That's very cute, though.
There we go. Yep.
I'm glad.
Yeah, but I posted it again, and that's become quite a hit on Instagram. With a lot of people going, clearly Gale.
I was nervous that once tracked down, the conversation was going to be more like, please don't misrepresent my book. So I'm glad that
please, Wizards are Hasbro are after me now. Like, she never said Gale. I didn't even know what the character's called. But it is about Dungeons and Dragons and romance.
Right. Well,
and a man who reads books, probably has a cat. He looks like he's got a cat.
Books that where people have realized, or the author themselves have admitted, that it originally was a fanfic about like pre-existing characters, right? That then the names got changed so that it could be published as like a book on its own. So I think, I don't think that it's out of the realm of possibility.
Who knows?
Like,
I mean, if Wizards Hasbro see how popular this post is, can we commission her to write some romance books about the characters?
They would do well. Gale, though.
They would do well. I mean, they were right next to the official books, all the Salvatore books, right next to them.
So there you go.
Yeah, if you want money, what we're saying is make some great Baldur's Gate fanfic, throw in the characters. It'll do well.
Yeah.
We're just saying, that'll print money. Just saying. Get on
just
it.
Just saying. Yeah.
I have recently, Jesse, did I talk at all about trying to read
Trying to read
it
all?
You
can do it. I believe in you.
Jesse.
Did I talk at all about trying to read the Warhammer books? I can't remember.
Yes, and how they're impossible to read because they throw in words like Impericus Dedicatium of the experiential fleet of the 13th Legiorium, and you're like, what the hell? Yeah.
So I've gotten a little bit further in Eisenhorn now, and Eisenhorn is definitely easier to read than Infinite and the Divine.
Mm-hmm.
So anybody who is with me on that same journey of like, I would love to read a Warhammer 40K book, but not one that's going to make me feel like I'm wading through goop to try and understand it.
Dodger, have you ever listened to the audiobooks?
I haven't.
Emma Gregory, who plays Minthara, narrates a lot of them.
Really? I love an audiobook. Maybe
there we go. And then someone else has to read the really horribly long words, and you don't have to.
Yeah.
And they do the voices where everyone talks like this.
Yes, there we go.
No, I'm here for that because I always, when someone says it, so I know Dodger and I are currently playing through Rogue Trader.
Yeah.
And when there's voice acting, super easy to follow along. I understand everything's happening. The minute it asks me to read the things, I'm like, I don't know what this says. I have no idea what this is supposed to be. And I try to sound it out in chats like, that's not even remotely correct, dude. What you just said is nonsense.
Yeah, maybe one of the benefits, aside from just being able to like listen to it and vibe with an audiobook, is maybe there's like a Clockwork Orange sort of element to it. Anybody who's read the Clockwork Orange book, they sort of make you learn the lingo as
make you learn that sort of modern Russian thing going on. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of.
Have you read Train Spotting by Irvin Welsh?
No.
You'll be Glaswegian by the end of it. Don't worry. And it's set in Edinburgh, but it has that sort of
those sorts of books are so interesting, though, right? Because you, as the reader, are trusted to commit to reading the book and eventually understand what everybody's talking about. And like you won't at the start, and you're not necessarily supposed to. So I guess if I were to listen to an audiobook of like Warhammer 40K, I would have to just like know that by the time I get a certain ways in, I will understand more than I do now, and it'll be fine, Yeah.
Yeah. I believe in you.
Thank you. That's so sweet. I will believe in myself.
It's like being immersed in a different language. Is really what it is. Yeah. You sit there and you hear it enough and you're like, oh, I know what that is. Even though it's an entirely made up word, you're like, no, I get that. I know what that's supposed to be. And after a while, it's like, oh, right. Well, I got to get my servitors and bring them back so I can access the machine spirit with the mechanicum, because otherwise, and you're like, yeah, no, that all checks out. I know exactly what that means.
Sure, of course.
Yeah.
We all play games with very strange vocabularies. This will be easy for you, Dodger. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just like those TikToks where people are goofing about the beginning of fantasy novels. It's the same thing. They're like, yep, they sure are throwing out a lot of fake countries right now. I'm sure I'll figure out what they are eventually.
Let me ask you a question, because I've always wondered this, and I think this is the perfect time. When you are reading a fantasy novel or playing a fantasy game or a sci-fi whatever, do you prefer when the things they talk about in the story have real-world analogs, or do you prefer when it's like, this is not the same. So a great example is one of my favorite games of all time, Ace Combat. The series has multiple settings. Like, it's just, it's a flying game, but they tell stories in it. And one of them, for example, it's like, oh yeah, this takes place in this world, and here's the different continents, and they're at war, But in another version of it, it's like, this is Ossia, and this is and they're all just like renamed, but very clearly the US and the Soviet Union. And like, so do you like it when there's some sort of, like in Star Wars, they're like, gotta drink my calf, right? You're like, okay, you mean coffee, is what you're saying. Like, do you like when they do that, or do you prefer when it's something like, I drink my sportska, and then they just talk about it and you very clearly get it's coffee?
I can't say I particularly care, Jesse. But Star Wars is a great example, because I think for years, I think people still think that fantasy and sci-fi are fantasy, as in they have nothing to do with this life, when in fact they are the closest to telling tales about, the times we live in. And for me, particularly sci-fi is about what it means to be human. And I think what has been done with Andor, which is about an occupation, and it's about the sacrifices you have to go through to make sure revolution happens. Now it fits into Star Wars, but my God, it's relevant for life on Earth. It's very clever, and it's not. You can't fit it in a particular region or anything like that. Whereas I think when Battlestar Galactica did it, it seemed to be, because of the timing, it did seem to be the occupation of Iraq, but of course told the other way around, that our main characters were the ones being occupied. And I think they did, that made people question it. But yeah, I suppose it's up to the author and what they're trying to do. But if I can't see the seams, I think that's better. But I don't want to come away going, oh, that was a nice escape. That's got nothing to do with real life.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm going to be annoying and say depends.
Yeah, it is hard, though, because you don't want to, if it's a book, you don't want things to ping weird, right? You don't want to read something and be like, okay. If that's constantly happening where you're going, all right.
Just set it now. If you're going to do that, just set it now, and that's fine. We have speculative fiction, which isn't too far away from where we are. It sort of sits between sci-fi and sort of modern.
It's very fiction, clearly up to the author and what the author's trying to get across. But there are some times where, for example, going back to Star Wars, where if you read a Star Wars book, for example, it might be like Luke ordered some buckwheat noodles with Rancor sauce. I'm like, they have buckwheat noodles in Star Wars?
Yeah,
it's like Rancor sauce. I get that's
that kind
fun.
of pulls you out, doesn't it? Yeah. If you're gonna rename everything, you got to rename everything. I hear you. Yeah.
Yes.
That's funny. Yeah.
And so it's that kind of thing where I'm always just like, I mean, I guess if you're gonna go for it, go for it. But if you're gonna in some way connect it back to us, then just set it on like it's Earth, but it's in an alternate reality or whatever. At least then we can be like, oh no, I get this. I know what this is. Rather than, what do you mean? Buckwheat noodles?
I do.
Where are we on Earth now? Yeah, because you might start thinking we're on Earth. Yeah.
I do think space makes a huge difference as well. Are you in space? Because if we've started exploring the vastness of space and we're still using a bunch of Earth terms, that doesn't track to me.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean?
Although, I will say my favorite Star Trek thing is when they talk about the past, or someone's in a, like Picard's in his room listening to music or whatever, and they're always playing like, this oldie, but a goodie. And it's like, the Beastie Boys or something.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I'm like, damn, they survived hundreds of years. Like that would be like us right now listening to something, like all we have is classical music.
Yeah,
right?
It doesn't
go
back any further than recorded music. Yeah.
So I think it's really interesting. I love when, for some reason, that's fine with me. When they're like, oh yes, someone in the future in their starship listening to Nirvana, and you're like, okay.
Hang on a sec.
Like,
do you know what? I don't know if you ever saw
classical music.
I don't know if you saw Red Dwarf, which was a British sitcom set in space. It's very good, actually. And they were always doing that, right? But all their references were late 20th century. And they never said, oh, yeah, we're obsessed with the late 20th century, or this is all that survived from the past. But it was always a very specific, like, 40, 50-year period, which I always found weird. I found that very strange. There was never anything from beyond 2000 or beyond when it was actually being written.
Right.
And I'm always here for that specific thing, because the minute they start to do like, the 2040s, a dark time for the world, and you're like, when 2040 hits and it's fine, you're like, well, now I'm taken out of it, and that's forever in your story.
No, I'm sorry, but no, Blade Runner. Blade Runner date has passed. We're all fine.
Same with Back to the Future.
Alien. Back to the Future, Alien.
Back to the Future has ruined hoverboards for everybody. The fact that we have a thing called hoverboard right now, and it is not what we were promised.
What we were promised by filmmakers.
Yeah. That's all I wanted was flying cars. That's all I wanted as a kid. I still want it.
We still want them.
Instead, nothing. No,
Nothing.
Actually, that's a lie. There are dudes riding flying hoverboards right now, which is close. We're almost there. I believe in the dream. I just have to hang in long enough. I got to live long enough to fly in a hover car, and then I'll be like, all right, I've done it.
Mm-hmm.
Send me off to the corporate wars or whatever the hell we're involved in the future. I'll be all right. Yeah.
Yeah. Once we can just put on nondescript clothes and they just become the right size for us. And then I can hop on my hoverboard that my shoes automatically
hook onto.
Yeah. I'll be good then. I won't complain about anything ever again.
I look forward to catching up with you in a few years' time.
Hey, dudes, let's hoverboard.
Totally fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, guys, my life is perfect now. I don't know what to say. I don't know. Everything's great.
A hoverboard is all it took? Man, I'm jealous.
Yeah, so am I.
Dodger finally has the perfect life, hoverboard and all.
Just a hoverboard. That's all that it took, apparently, for me to ignore the other horrors of the universe.
Good for you. Good for you. Find your joy.
Oh my goodness. What about you, Jesse?
I'd use a hoverboard as long as no one else used one. I too
watched a movie on the plane this past week as I caught a cold. I didn't know this existed. I had no idea it was out. Apparently it came out in theaters, which I was unaware of. A movie called Freaky Tales. It is an anthology film featuring this. Again, I had no idea this didn't exist. Pedro Pascal, Tom Hanks, Ben Mendelsohn, like just a crazy cast. And it is an homage to the 1980s in Oakland. And here's the premise. It is as silly as it sounds. It's an anthology film about the fact that in the 80s in Oakland, there was like a crazy green glow in the sky, man. And at that time, some weird stuff was going down, some sort of freaky tales. And so it's basically 4 short stories all connecting at the end, like a good anthology, where in the middle of it, something happens that this green glow affects one of the characters in a certain way, giving them a power. And that power changes the story. So for example, the first story is about the punk rock scene in Oakland. And it's literally about these punk rock kids versus Nazis. The second story is about, oh man, my brain just died. What is the second story? It is about the rap scene in Oakland, and these 2 women who are invited to be part of a rap battle, and it's them trying and over the course of these like characters. So Ben Mendelsohn is a cop, and he weaves through the story. Like he goes to the ice cream parlor that the 2 girls work at, that kind of thing. And he like harasses them, the usual like Oakland cop thing. And then the next story is Born to Mac, and that's Pedro Pascal. And he plays a guy who is a like an enforcer for some bad dudes. And he is reckoning with a spoiler that happens in his life during this time. And then the last story, the entire trilogy, or not trilogy, but the entire anthology is taking place over, I think, like 48 hours. And there's a basketball game that is happening. And the guy who you see in the background on TV, who's like, he scored the most points in any quarter of basketball history. That's the main character of the last story.
Okay.
And in that one, all the stories come together, and I don't want to spoil it, but it is like every story has its own theme, but the last one is basically like Kill Bill levels of violence. And it's awesome. It is so cool. I was like, yo, what? How have I never seen this movie before? It is so well done. I enjoyed it from start to finish. Loved it. Didn't know this existed. Had no clue this was even out. I guess it was at Sundance, and then they released it limited, I guess, in April of this year. And then I saw it on the plane and was like, how is, like, there's an entire scene featuring Tom Hanks and Pedro Pascal, and they're just talking about the top 5 movies ever made. And it's them just being like, here's some amazing movies, and just rattling off trivia. And I'm like, did they know I wanted this? How did this happen? Oh, loved it from start to finish. Couldn't believe it exists. Like, it's not a normal movie by any stretch of the imagination. It is super bizarre because, again, all the plots hinge on the fact that it's 1980s and everything's super retro and there's magic green lightning in the air. I loved it.
I thought for a second I got Tom Hanks and Nicolas Cage mixed up in my mind.
Oh, poor Tom.
Because you know, there's that gif of Pedro Pascal in a car, like, you know that gif?
Yes. From another amazing movie.
Still have no idea what movie that's from. So I was like, maybe, is this the movie?
No, that's The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, or whatever that's called. It's the Nick Cage, Pedro Pascal movie, where it's literally Nick Cage playing Nick Cage, which, by the way, is amazing. Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
He always plays Nick Cage.
Yeah. And then Pedro plays his biggest fan, and he pays him $1 million to hang out with him, and that's the premise for the movie, and it is
nice.
So good. It is hilarious from start to finish. Love that movie. Yeah. Good stuff. But Freaky Tales, it exists. Yeah. So just put it out there. I had no clue. And that was great. I love that. A strange movie, very similar to The Substance, a strange movie to watch on a plane because you're just around other people and you're like, are you watching this too? Because it's like that time I watched Ex Machina on a plane and it was just, I'm like, are there kids around me? Because I feel like I shouldn't be watching this in front of them. Yeah.
I always appreciate when the screens do that thing where like you can't see them unless you're directly in front of them.
I foolishly watched Magic Mike on a plane next to an old man on the way to Vegas, and it may have awakened something in him. So if I've helped there, I'll take it. I'll take the credit.
He was like, I'm going to see that
I'm not switching this off. I'm not switching it off. Watch your own damn screen.
Yeah, absolutely.
He puts on Magic Mike 2 and syncs it up.
That's right. Don't spoil it. I gotta finish this one first.
Wait a minute. I'm working on it. I don't think I watched. I'm trying to remember if I watched any like good movies on the plane. I don't think so. When I was coming back.
Oh God, I watched A Fantastic Woman, which completely slipped me by. It's from 2017. It won, I think, Best Foreign Language Film at the Oscars. Ugly crying on the plane. That was great. Great.
What is that?
Crying on the plane is the worst.
It's a film from Chile. About a young trans woman who finds herself probably in the worst week of her life. Don't really want to spoil anything. It's beautifully done. The actor was she was consulted as well because it was written and directed by people who weren't trans, but she was very heavily involved in it. So all those little just those little microaggressions, that clearly come from lived experience are all in there, and it's so beautifully done. I was just telling, I got rather evangelical about it, and I want to watch it properly in the comfort of my own home so I can ugly cry even more, maybe even make some sound this time. Yeah, but it's great, and it's from years ago, and it completely passed me by. And I just remembered the title for some reason. It was an excellent film.
Fantastic Woman is what it's called, right?
Yeah. Un mujer fantástica.
Shout out to long plane rides where you're just kind of like scrolling through, like, I've never seen any of this. Screw it, let's go. And you find some gems. Yeah.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, you think you'd be stuck there eating fine food, yikes, and in a hot
this
plane.
Is escapism, isn't it?
It really is.
Focus on the film. Don't think about the food.
I will never, ever forget the time I flew back from the UK, and it was, man, I don't remember what airline.
That's a long flight.
They deserve a shout out for like the true hell I went through. Power went out on the flight, so they could keep the plane, but we're over the Atlantic, so there's no turning around. Power goes out, and they're like, well, we have no air conditioning, we have no TV, we have no lights, but the plane's fine. However, for the next 7 hours, we just have to hang in there. It was, when you see those guys online who are like, raw dog in a flight, bro, and it's just them staring.
Yeah.
I had that for real. It wasn't some online thing. At a certain point, they brought around all the food because they're like, we have to get rid of this. Do you want cold food? And everyone's like, no. And they had ice cream that was all melting. So everyone's just like cramming down food.
That's crazy.
There was a moment I remember staring at like a speck of dust for what seemed like 45 minutes. That's where I was mentally. They had broken me. And when we landed, I was like, I'm going to get a refund for that. Oh my God, that was a terrible flight. And they're like, thank you for your patience. Here is $125 or like whatever they gave us. And I was like, well, I'll have that memory for my entire life. Thank you. Like it was, I mean, sucked.
It's coming across very British Airways. That's what I'm hearing.
No comment.
Yeah, no, you can. We don't work for them. I just fly Virgin now. I can't stand it. It's been a thing.
That was my flight back. I just flew back on Virgin. It was so shout out to Freaky Tales on Virgin Airlines.
Here we go.
Virgin
chat says a book could have really helped you out there.
I always bring a book with me now. Always. It's always in my bag. It's a backup just in case. Yes. Oh yes. Lesson learned. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
It's the only time I touch my Steam Deck, actually. Yeah, if it's like a film, I can't. Or something's gone wrong, because that does happen. Yeah. Otherwise, I don't touch the Steam Deck.
It's one of those things where I very much like a Switch 2 or just in general, handheld things. In theory, I'm like, yes, I need that. And then in reality, I have it, own it, and never touch it. Which is why I don't have a Steam Deck. I'm like,
yeah.
Yeah, in theory, I have the time to ignore. Do that. Yeah. Like, I really want to play it, but I know me, I will find a million other things to do. The ADD will kick in, and I'll be like, I could do that, or I could do all these other things. Nonsense. Yes.
I could just be caught in the middle trying to work out what I'm going to do. That's my happy, well, not very happy at all, but yeah, that's where I live. Yeah, you and me both.
Anytime I'm sick, the Steam Deck gets a lot of work.
Oh, that's cool.
Lay in bed and play on the Steam Deck, but I do have an issue with the fact that all of the handheld systems are just getting bigger. Like, why are they getting so
and our
big?
hands aren't getting bigger, are they?
Yeah, what's happening here? We got my kid who's 7.
His hands are small.
Yeah, we got one of the Switch Lights or whatever, the smaller ones. Mm-hmm. And I was like, this is awesome. This is the size I want the Switch to be. This is it. We did it.
Well, that's because you have tiny hands. Me, on the other hand, Switch 1, terrible. Switch 2, brilliant. It's bigger. And my hands don't cramp when I use it. I love it.
Yeah,
it's great.
I got one of those like adjustable things. You can put, you put the little controller paws on them, so you've got something to grip onto. Because that flat surface not great for the old carpal tunnel or developing it.
It doesn't feel nice to trying to hold that up. I don't like it.
Not nice.
Yeah.
Uncomfy.
I guess.
But yes, carrying things that don't require battery or signal. Thing is, we mentioned the word Luddite before we went live. Come in useful when the power goes out across the Atlantic.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it also, I'm at that point in my life where I used to, if I went to like a coffee shop or whatever, I would sit down and I'd either be on my phone or I'd play something or I'd read something. Now I've hit old man status where I just watch. I sit there with my coffee and I just look at everyone, watch the world go by. And I realize I enjoy that tremendously. And I'm like, oh, I get it. Oh, old guys, I get it. I'm there. I'm like, oh, what a lovely dress she has on. Like, oh, look at those two. They're having a conversation. That's lovely. I just sit there and sip. I'm like, oh, I wonder what's going on over there, which is the nosiest thing in the world. It is. I'm just a snoop, but I enjoy it a lot.
Dude, that's wonderful. You're switching your brain off from the electronic nonsense that we're all trapped in. I think it's a great break for your brain. And you got your own headcanon. We'll do it. We make our own stories up about UBC, don't we?
Yes. Yeah. I love hearing just snippets. I love hearing like someone say a thing a little too loud and have no context for it, but be like, oh yeah, no, I know what's going on over there. Which is totally not true.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. I have been trying to bring books with me if I know. I have breakfast by myself a lot, and sometimes I'll go out to eat breakfast, which is nice. And I'll just sit and I'll bring a book. And yeah, sometimes I'm not really in the mood to read a book though. And I sit down and I open it up and I start reading and I'm like, no, it's not the day for that. Yeah. And I do wind up doing a lot of people watching against my will.
It's all still good for your brain. It's that diffuse part of your brain working when you're not concentrating. It's really good for you. Yeah. And that, of course, is when you come up with a perfect song lyric or idea and nothing to write it down with.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been trying to not bring anything with me, like on the dog walks and stuff, and just enjoy, just enjoy
sweet relief of leaving your phone at home.
Yeah.
Oh no, I've left my phone at home for an hour. Whatever will I do? How awful for me. Yeah.
I have notes on my phone for this very purpose, where I will sit down in a coffee shop or I'll sit down in a restaurant or whatever and just like take my time and eat, and then I'll have weird epiphanies. And I write things down, and I have no knowledge of what I was thinking of at the time, because clearly I've forgotten. Like this gem from a few days ago, I was at a coffee place in London, and I wrote this down. WrestleVania. Wrestler versus Castlevania? That's what I wrote.
Yes.
I love that.
I don't know what that means for me. Yeah.
Sounds like a franchise to me, Jesse.
That's what I'm saying. I have like all sorts of stupid things in here. I'll write down like this one. I wrote Koopa equals poop, which I guess is Polish. Koopa is poop, but for some reason I was thinking of Mario. So I was like, Koopa equals. That's what I wrote down. That's all I wrote down. That is it. It's its entire thing on here. Why'd I do that? This is where I'm at. I'm like, well, one day this will make sense. This will be a thing.
It's a good brain exercise though, because you're going back through and you're forcing yourself to remember, why did I write that?
Yeah, I have this one. Before a dangerous voyage, sailors drank rum and shared one regret as a tradition. Why'd I write that down? For what purpose?
Because it's interesting.
You wanted to remember that fun fact.
For what? Like, that's what I'm like, but why? That's where I'm at. Like, why did I do this? Clearly there was a reason. And now it's lost to time.
Yeah. Like tears in rain, Jesse.
My mom and I were talking about like getting directions to go to a place. My mom will not use GPS. She just refuses, because she's been driving in the same area for long enough that if someone gives her verbal directions or written directions, she's like, yeah, I know how to get there. Right.
Okay.
And I was talking with her about how I use GPS for everything, because I don't really like even this like area that I've been living in for the last 5-6 years in England. I still get confused about where stuff is, Yeah. And she was like, do you think potentially you're still confused about where stuff is because you keep using GPS instead of trying to rely on your brain at all to like get places? I'm like, I don't like that.
I think it's true.
Probably. Yeah. I don't like that though. I don't like thinking that I'm like holding my brain back by like.
Yeah, I worked with a graphic designer. He went out to the shops to get special stationery and everything. And we went, oh my God, where did you find that? And he went, I don't know. What's the name of the street? And he's like, I just found it on Google Maps. And I can't remember like how he got there, or how he got back. And it went, great.
Oh, no.
The next time when you need something, you're going to have to Google it again.
Right.
Which you'll immediately forget. It's fantastic. Yeah.
Although admittedly, the roads in which you drive, Dodger, are, having just ridden in a car with you to a wedding this past week.
Yeah.
those roads are crazy.
It's all crazy back roads. Yeah, that is true.
I don't know how you memorize any of that because it's all tiny roads in the middle of a forest. And there was one point, roundabouts. To Americans, we don't know how that works. But in the UK, I've seen plenty of roundabouts in the UK. I've driven on many of them. But the one we had to go on,
he hasn't seen any of the ones in the country that are like this big. I've never seen.
Yeah, there's a little white circle and people are driving over it. There was no rules. How the hell? I don't know how you do that. And so the fact that you have to have a thing that's like, no, please go this way. Go. I would rather have that than just be like, screw it. Let's go. We're just driving through. I think that was crazy. The roads are big enough for one car. So at one point we're driving on the grass on the side. I'm like, this is dangerous. I don't like this at all.
Yeah, it's interesting because places where in America we would just put a stop sign. In England, they'll say, well, as long as everybody's sensible, we'll just put an extremely minuscule roundabout here.
Yeah.
And that tells everybody, check and see if somebody's there. If they're not, go for it.
Yeah, generally. Yeah. Yeah, sensible in 2025, though, is something else. Yeah.
So,
do you disclose whereabouts in the country you are? Because if not, obviously don't answer the question. Okay, fair enough. We'll talk afterwards. Try and work out if I've been there.
Yeah, I'm a bit north of London.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
we'll talk after. And I'll go, no way. Excellent. Yeah, Ireland can be a bit like that, Jesse, and Wales and bits of Scotland just becomes one lane. Sometimes they have a mirror.
Oh, great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you can see what's about to T-bone you. Yeah.
Yeah, I was telling my husband I would really love whatever car we have in our life next. I want it to be still safe, but so small because the roads will go from a normal size to like, I don't know, maybe a car can fit through this so fast, like so suddenly. And it drives me crazy.
Yeah.
Well, you're welcome, world, for Americans giving you bigger cars. So you can thank us later.
Mm-hmm. Appreciate it so much.
Yeah. Having trouble parking? Shouldn't have bought that SUV, haters.
How did we get here?
How do we get here?
Oh,
Books.
GPS. I remember.
Oh,
books.
GPS.
I did it. It was
all
my
books
fault.
lead to roads.
I did it.
Yeah. There's a lot of chat has exploded. And what you've said, it's got something very controversial. They're talking about GPS.
Yes.
And roundabouts.
About traffic. Yeah, we love it.
Everyone loves a good roundabout. Yeah, I was being scolded because we have some here in the States. Well, like, yeah, but they're not the same, y'all. They're just not the same.
And they're new enough that Americans are still like, I'm not sure what to do here. There's one is in my old hometown, which is very small in Oregon. And every time my mom pulls up to it, she's like, I guess if no one else is going, I'll go. And I'm like, that's not how this is supposed to work.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Chat. I love you.
I played a couple games.
Did you games on this show?
To talk about
electricity.
Yes, I know.
On this show,
we just talked about disconnecting. I reconnected to play some games.
Yes.
So there's a game that I played the demo of a while back, and I thought that it seemed very fun. And so the full thing has come out now, and I've nearly beaten it. I'm pretty sure it's called "Is This Seat Taken?" It's a puzzle game in which you are given a place, like in the modern world, a place where a lot of people would be sitting. It could be a bus. It could be waiting for a plane. It could be a classroom. And you're given a bunch of people, and they all have specifications about where they would like to sit. It's one of those sorts of puzzles, you know. Mary doesn't want to sit next to John. John has poor eyesight and wants to sit closer to the gate, right? Like that sort of stuff. And you figure out their perfect place to be sitting. So as the game goes on, it adds more and more variables, adds more and more people. Everybody gets more specific, right? It's really fun and infuriating. I had a level that took me forever because where are you going?
I'm gonna blow my nose.
Okay.
Cause I'm sick.
I wasn't sure what this meant. Is there something on my shirt?
No, I'm sick.
Okay. So at the point
I'm listening. I'm listening. Don't worry.
So Sam. At the point that I'm at in the game now, it'll be like this person wants to sit next to this other person, but not near the AC. They're very sensitive to the cold. And they also don't like when people wear too much cologne, but also they're nervous about being near their boss. They don't want to be like caught not working, right? So it'll be like a big list. And you're like, okay, so I have to put them where there's no AC, that's not close to where I put the boss, that, you know, has no one wearing cologne at the same table. It'll expand in that kind of a way.
It's like me really working from home when I was asking for accommodations. I'm too sensitive for rush hour.
It's really fun.
Don't make me working in an office. I spent 2 years working from home, switching servers off and on again. There's no reason for me to go in. There's other people.
You are not the only person that feels that way, for sure.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah, I would highly recommend that game if you like puzzles.
Yeah, it sounds cool.
If you like sort of like logic puzzle stuff, it's really light in the logic puzzle area because you place everybody and then like two people will be mad and then it very quickly turns into like, okay, well then everybody out. We're starting over. You know, you just get mad.
I love it. Yeah, nice.
It's very cute. So there's that one. And there is like an overarching story, which I wasn't expecting. There's a specific character that follows the entire thing. And you're like going on sort of a you know, cute journey with them. And then a not so cute game that I played actually just today, and full disclosure, I was sponsored to play it, but I loved it, is a game that's in early access called Ovis Loop.
Oh.
It is an action roguelite where you are playing a sheep. You're a sheep with a giant sword.
As you do.
It is post-apocalyptic.
Of course.
Super like cyber aesthetic. I think I'm a robot, actually. I think maybe everybody's a robot. They're all animals, but they like glitch. I think everyone's a robot, actually.
Okay.
And you are a sheep that is like trying to defeat wolves. The wolves have like taken over and are like over consuming resources and all of these other things. And you as a sheep character, maybe a sheep character, have taken it upon yourself to try and destroy the wolf that is sort of running all of it. It's really, really cool. I've played a lot of roguelites. It's a side scroller, but it's really rare for any of them to do something kind of new and interesting with the abilities that you pick up. So in this one, you pick up an ability, you know, say like, when you hit left bumper, you do a big slash. And then next time that you're picking up skills, it might offer you that same skill, except it would be something that adds on to it. So instead of it being like, okay, it's that skill, but it's stronger, instead it'll say, okay, do you want to add a passive element or another like activation that happens on this thing? So for example, if I said, okay, and then also I want to do like a big stomp, it would be when I activate that big slash, if I press it again fast enough, I'll then follow up with a stomp. So you have all these opportunities to do like really big like synergy things, because every ability that you take can have 2 or more extra abilities on top, and I think up to 3 passives that activate as you just keep using it. So the combos get crazy. You can like synergize like all sorts of different, like dots and effects and stuff. It's really cool, and it's very polished for early access. So I'm excited to keep playing it. Also because I don't think I'm a sheep. And I want to know what's going on there.
Take your quote out of context and use it forever. I think everyone is a robot should be the thing that I just use for all the time. I think everyone's a robot.
I think everyone's a robot.
Yeah.
Electric sheep dream of androids. That should be the title.
It really is. Yeah, it's really, we're all coming back to the same movie. Everything connects us back.
Everything goes back to Blade Runner.
Harrison Ford. Yeah, it's all Blade Runner.
To be fair, we mentioned Star Wars. Yeah, you've got a point about Harrison Ford.
Whoa! Harrison Ford all the way down. Yeah.
It's always Harrison Ford.
We have to stop playing these Patriot games.
Kids. Yeah, love it.
I played a game.
That's what I've been playing
before I left. Before we took a week off for the wedding. Little game, in the horror genre. Very, I would say, the substance adjacent in what the story is trying to tell. Dead Take. It is a FMV style horror game where the premise is you play as good boy Neil Newman, who in this game is, can't remember his name, it's like Clancy Javis or something like, like a crazy name. And he is going to a very famous Hollywood producer / casting director / bigwig. He's going to his house and a party is happening for a movie in which Chase Lowry was his name. That's very close to Clancy Javis. Chase Lowry? Anyway, you're going to this house, and when you get there, of course, it appears a party happened, but nobody's there. And the real conceit of the game is you find video clips and can edit together things featuring other people and their performances and their interactions with this producer. And so, for the most part, it is a game of walking around, discovering things, getting jump scared by Ben Starr, which I don't think has ever happened before, unless you've met him in person. The man jump scares. Yeah. And so, this is what's really brilliant about this, the thing that I love, besides just being a scary game and like a critique of Hollywood and looking into how actors perceive their roles and that kind of thing. One of my favorite parts about this is the conceit is that Neil's character and Ben's character are both going for the same role. And so you get to see, which I think is really fun, both of these men as actors do the exact same character, but differently. So they're doing the exact same performance. You get to watch it, but it's 2 totally different performances. And it's like, yo, acting's cool. Because you get to see the way they perceive that character being and how they would interact with the actor who's, opposite to them during that scene. And based on how they do it, it's an entirely different vibe, which is super fun. And then you have this producer who's like essentially a complete psychopath. Like basically not a good dude. And he is, everyone's like, he's the worst person ever, but man, does he make good movies. And you're like, how does he make those good movies? And what's going on here? Really cool stuff. The cast is awesome. The acting is really good. And it's one of those games where when I beat it, I realized I missed some things because there's certain you're locking yourself out of stuff by proceeding. And so there's definitely a book that I should have opened and just didn't because I was caught up in the story. And when I beat the game, I was like, and because it autosaves, you can't just rewind and get back to that point. So you had to replay it. And I was like, you know what? Go buy it. Go pick it up yourself. You go figure out what the hell that said. Because there is clearly a story that is dark and weird. And it's kind of like, without spoiling it, because that's not the plot of this, but you know how if you play an Eldritch horror game, most of the time things can be explained relatively easily. Like, oh yes, no, those were just murders. But if you dig enough, it could be like, murders for Cthulhu. Like that. Same thing here, where there's clearly something going on, and if you dig deep enough, you can find out what that is. But if you don't, you still walk away with like, okay, I got a story, and that was good. But there's something I'm missing, and I want to know what It's awesome. It takes like 4 hours to beat, depending on how much you're just gonna walk around and be like, "What's that? How's that work?" You know.
Well, you should play it again then, Jess, if it's that short.
I really should. But I got
read the book.
I got 14 out of 19 achievements, so I feel pretty good.
Oh, okay, you did great.
I feel like I did pretty good, but man,
you did good.
There's some moments where you're just walking, and then what's great about it, which I think is very fun, is the game is clearly inspired by Sam Lake's work. And so since Sam Lake is in the game, it's like a cool homage. But yeah, if you played Alan Wake 2, you know that sometimes you walk into a room and then like a thing appears in your face. It's that, except it's just Ben Starr. Which again,
I tried turning that down on that. Yeah, I tried turning that down on Alan Wake 2, the intense jump scares. I tell you, that slider didn't work. Because that was, especially with Cynthia, that was slider. Terrifying. Yeah, to make it less intense didn't work. I hate her.
I hate that old lady. I hate her so much.
I was thinking more Sam Barlow, actually, what with the unreliable narrative, I guess the fact that it's all split up so much, and you the idea that your playthrough will be different from mine because of the order you put things together in. So yeah,
it does a really good job of like it has a mechanic that is very similar to like Her Story or Immortality.
Yeah. I'm imagining a lot of Easter eggs in there. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that kind of stuff. I loved Immortality. So those types of games, the minute I saw this, I was like, oh, a game specifically made for me? Great. I had to play it before I left. Loved every minute of it. Very good stuff. You should check it out.
Oh, yeah.
I used to wonder why a lot of FMVs are like so short. And then Jesse and I have off and on tried to put together an FMV before. We've both had like a big interest in making one someday. And I really appreciate now how hard it is to make a good FMV game that isn't just a visual novel, you know?
Yeah.
And it's so much like acting. It's so many things to film for people.
Well, it's so easy when it's voice only. You know, you can just pick it up very quickly. There's no resetting. You can pick up mid-sentence. They can splice it. No one's going to notice. So, a lot easier when you haven't got the visual.
Dead Take does a fun job of utilizing FMV in a way that isn't FMV. Most FMV games is like actors, then you make a choice. Acting, make a choice. This is you're walking around a 3D environment, you're doing the stuff, but the FMV stuff is video clips you find that then you can play to give you background information. And based on what you see, you can connect two clips and then it'll give you a new clip that will give you more information. So it isn't as complicated as FMV games are, where it's like, you have 8 choices and each 8 choice can branch off to all. It's not that at all, which is very smart and probably something we should have thought of, Dodger, years ago, but absolutely didn't. Yeah.
I can tell you what I've been playing.
Yeah.
I think you were going to say something, Dodger.
No, it's okay. It was not an important thing.
Sure it was. Save it for later. I've been playing a game called Fading Echo on my Steam Deck, which isn't out yet, hasn't been recorded. I'm in it, but the devs are very unusual. Yes, very much so. I don't have an NDA. They've given me a copy of the game, so I can talk about it authentically. We've got Jasmine Bullard and Matt Mercer and Laura Bailey all going to be supporting roles in it. I'm playing the lead role.
Jasmine? Jasmine?
Yes, you're Jasmine. What? She's writing it and she's going to be in it. Oh, and we premiered it on the Future Game Show because weirdly Matt and Laura presented, so I got to gate crash that and we showed it. And if you look up Fading Echo by New Tales, they're a French outfit, they're former Blizzard, and I've been really enjoying it. So my character, she's sort of very light, very roguey, and when she faces puzzles, she turns into water. It's so cute. It looks very, to me at least, it looks very Zelda Wind Waker. It's super cute, very anime in its style, very bright and colourful. And yeah, it seems to be a lot of it's adventure, but it's also this shape shifting, and you work with the environment. So you can, if there's a lava monster, turn into water, can petrify them, or you can incorporate poison to beat other enemies, and it's really cool. And hopefully we'll be talking about a bit more at Gamescom. But yeah, that should be out early next year. Plug. But I have been playing it. I've genuinely been playing it and going, yeah, okay. I'll see what it's like when they put my voice in there.
Right.
Oh man, we're gonna have Bronze back on.
Great team.
I know,
yeah, you should. Yeah, it's a great team. We've already done a podcast about it. We haven't made it yet, but there we go. But it's not often the lead animator sits you down ahead of the session for half an hour to go, this is what she's going to look like, and that's going to change my performance. And it's just wonderful to get all that information ahead of time. I'm sure you've had it with other actors on your podcast saying, like, please give us as much information as you can because you get a better performance out of us. So they're really cool.
Yeah, the more context you have, the more you can place who this person is and what's happening with them. Yeah.
Absulum is. I'm going to plug mine because I don't play games unless I'm in them now. Absulum is in. That's by Super Monks and some other folks. There's quite a few. Dotemu as well. They did Streets of Rage 4, not Street Fighter. Streets of Rage 4. If you think of more of Golden Axe, sort of fantasy version of that, I play a rogue character with a telescopic arm to punch you in the face with, and that's in a demo form. I wouldn't say it's early access, but that's demo. And of course, you got a dwarf called Karl. I thought he's the best named person in the whole game. And I play Cider. I'm thinking what else, and then there's Tron Catalyst, which I'm in, but I'm not playable in that. Tron Catalyst by Bithell Games, Devolver, etc. And that is out. I'm allowed to talk about those. There's a whole load. There's about 6-7 games. I'm sitting on.
Look at you.
I'm not allowed to talk about, but that's the actors' strike for you.
Yeah.
Just been waiting because I've been allowed to record my bits because I'm not in the US. I'm not SAG-AFTRA, so I've been recording my bits. I've been ready. Like, come on, guys. Yeah. It's been a ride.
It's gonna happen.
If anyone's going to PAX West, I've got War of the Western Deep is in demo. And that's a great game by Sunsgrove Studios. We'll be doing more, but it's about the first hour of the game you can play.
Nice.
That'll be cool.
Oh my gosh, there's so much coming out.
It's just if you played Excavation of Hobbs Barrow, it's Thomasina as a squirrel without the trauma.
Oh,
there you go.
I loved Hobbs Barrow. That was a great game.
Did you? Oh,
yeah.
I made that here. I made that round the corner with COVID in a heat wave. So
great.
That whole letter, that letter. Yeah. I had a full-time job as well. Because this happened just before Baldur's Gate. I did that with a full-time job. I was doing this from home. And of course it's voice only, so it was a lot quicker, but it was pretty intense. And without ruining it, there's a letter that goes all the way through. She's reading a letter. And as it goes on, she gets more and more exhausted. And I remember Dave Gilbert, who directed and produced it, said, okay, Sam, at this point, there's nothing left. It's just an empty shell. I did it in one take because there was nothing left.
Right. Yeah.
Because
just read the words, go, there you go, print. There you go. And they used that. So, an accidental method. Accidental method there. That's good. Yeah, go play it. It's coming up to spooky season. I know in America it's going to be Halloween for the next 4 months. So, do check it out.
Even
in fact,
here,
some
I went to
sale, isn't it?
Tesco, I think.
It's on sale.
And there was a bunch of Halloween stuff out. I went to Tesco the other day, and there was a bunch of Halloween
because they do that now. So I guess summer's over. It's back to school, and then they've got nothing until Halloween, and then after Halloween it'll be Christmas immediately. After Christmas it'll be Easter immediately.
January
the 1st.
That is true.
Yeah,
I'm just
trying to find out. Summer of Screams 2025. On I think there's some sort of deal on it on Steam at the moment. If you want to check out Hobbs Barrow. I think it's still a good game.
It's very good. The thing that I was going to mention earlier that really doesn't matter. But
you said it was unimportant. You said it was unimportant.
I knew when I interrupted you that I was like, we'll come back to this. Go on.
I appreciated you giving me the prompt to be able to come back.
I would not have. I've been like, it sounds unimportant.
Jesse, you were goofing about like the names in games and stuff sometimes, and it reminded me. There's an interview with Mike Schur who made like Parks and Rec and I think Brooklyn Nine-Nine and shows like that. And he was talking about how in like sitcoms and TV shows, there's this weird like mid-ground on names where like you can't have a name for a character that's too common, where like too many actual people have it, because it creates like a weird legal thing. So you like when making names for stuff, a lot of times people will be like, okay, how do I make this still sound like somebody could be named this, but no one is named this, right? It's like just slightly a weird name. And it made me wonder if that's also the case in games. If for games you also have to or are encouraged to not choose a name that's like John Smith, you know?
No.
There is one of my favorite thing ever in games. These are names from a famous meme at this point, but I just want to stress that I love these names. These are the names from an old Japanese baseball game for American players, and I think we should use them for all media from now on.
Okay.
Sleeve McDickle. Onsen Swimney. Daryl Archideld. Anatoly Smorin. Ray McSriff. Glenn Allen Mixon. Mario McRalwain. Raul Charlemagne. Kevin Nogilney. Tony Smerick. Robson Dugnut. Robson Dugnut's the best one. Robson Dugnut. Willie Dustis. Jeremy Grid. Scott DeRook. Shaun Furcate. Dean Westray. Mike Truck. Dwight Rorchigel, Tim Sandele, Carl Dantelton, Mike Cernandez is a great one too, and Todd Gonzalez. Shout out to Todd Gonzalez, doing it well. Yeah, those names.
Round of applause to Jesse for getting through that list.
That should be the names we use from now on. Like,
I'm stealing all those from my next D&D game.
That's so good.
I'm a dwarf named Bobson Dugnut. That's a good name.
Right?
I'm trying to find, I don't know if you guys have seen it, that video that's like what Americans sound like to other people. And it's like a dramatic scene between like a husband and wife. And they're like this whole like back and forth, but they're speaking gibberish. Like they're making American sounds, but not words. And it's so strange. It's like it's on the same tree as Simlish, you know?
Yeah.
That sounds like something. Anyway, those names reminded me of that. Like those could be American names for sure.
Isn't there a very famous Italian song where it's done in English, but it's not real English? But because it was done in Italy, none of the Italian speakers knew it wasn't English. Like, it's a famous song, and I can't remember what it's called, but I'm pretty sure it exists. And it was like a number one song in Italy.
Chat will deliver. I know this.
Chat is definitely saying yes. I have no idea what it's called.
Adriano Celentano's song.
There we go. It's there. There it is. Seconds. The power of the hive mind.
It's all just made up nonsense words, but it sounds English, and so everyone just thought it meant something, which I love. I love that.
Yeah. It's true though about the Simlish. They did it in Animal Crossing, didn't they? Like Japanese Animal Crossing sounds different to American English. Like because it does sound like our own language. Whereas when you hear like, I don't know, Danish version of it, it doesn't sound quite right to our ear. So there's something in it. My favorite made-up name was Michael in Arrested Development, Charith Cute Story. That name haunts my dreams. He's really nervous around Maggie Liza, who's a fake lawyer. She likes Maggie Liza a lot, and he's making up a name. It's Charith Cute Story.
I love that.
That's so good. I love good names are amazing. Names are like, who would have that name? It's so much better than.
You should come to England, man. All these little towns, they've got such weird names.
I love them. Oh, especially if it's on like over something bridge or on the river, or like when it has a little addition at the end, we're like, just in case you were aware, it's not that other one. It's the one on the river. You're like, oh yeah. Northamptonshire upon Vale. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Yeah, they're fun. The names out here are very fun. For the first like year that I was here, my in-laws would say like, yeah, we're going to be going to this village. Do you want to try to pronounce it? So I got pretty good at figuring out the pronunciation.
Yeah. The ritual humiliation will do that to you. Yeah. Yeah, there's one on the way to Cornwall. It's two different towns, but for a long time we thought it sounds like a 70s porn star. Hazeling Mislet. It's two different towns, Hazeling and Mislet. And we're like, that's a name. That's someone's name now. I've decided. Hazeling Mislet.
Hazeling Mislet is a great name. It's weird because in the States we try like it's either named after something that was native to here, or colonists just added new in front of it. Yeah. Or it is the stupidest thing.
It's the original name, and then they've anglicized it because that's the thing as well. Yeah, and I'm learning.
We don't have that kind of like there's like a quaintness to some of the names when you drive through the UK. You're like, oh, I love that. That's so sweet. And here it's like, yeah, you go up to Uptonburg and over to Bigsville and turn a left at Town. And you're like, okay, cool.
Yeah, nice. Town. Stealing that as well for my next game. Town.
But they have to be spelled a little bit different, right?
Of course.
Yeah. Right.
Of course. And that's me looking at my notes going, what did that mean? Why did you say that? What was that about? That's me every D&D game. I had a DM just give me like, like a letter from a character. I didn't know what he was talking about because I was writing everything down wrong. I didn't have a clue.
Are you a big note taker for D&D?
Yeah, I'm a big old SWAT. Because I'm scared that you don't want to go up and make a bad impression on the NPC because you've forgotten their name. I was searching. There's a guy we met in a tavern. Oh, what was he called again? No one knows. Just embarrassing, really. I try and make generally names. It's generally names that I can't spell. Yeah, good times.
Yeah, thankfully in D&D it's less about the spelling and more about the like. Oh, you were called Gorgoth. Sure. Gotcha.
Yeah.
No one's gonna ask you how to spell that. Dodger, are you a note taker in D&D or are you a drawer?
I've seen you draw. The character. I do like to doodle. Yeah. I will take more notes if I'm expected to be a smart character.
This is why my first character was a barbarian.
Yeah. If I'm supposed to be a dum-dum, I don't bother, really.
Yeah. I'm just here for vibes.
Yeah. Exactly. I'm here to just show up, make a couple goofs, like flirt with somebody, and then move on. I'm not gonna worry about it too much. Yeah. Somebody else is able to take great notes, I'm sure.
I will say, I don't know if you took notes during this, but one of the most brilliant things I've ever seen in my entire life. I'm going to give you all the credit in the world, Dukes. I'm going to it truly confounded me how you pulled this off. So years ago, in the pre-COVID times, long ago, we played it wasn't D&D, but it was like another style of, whatever it was. I don't remember what the format was, but it was a space thing that we were doing. And like, I was a big religious lizard and Dodger was a giant slime.
I was a slime,
but
named Eugene.
Mechanically, for some reason, Dodger decided that when the slime is split, each portion of the slime possessed one part of Dodger's vocabulary. So at one point in time, Dodger was kind of blown apart and was missing the letter E for multiple sessions. And so every time you talked, you somehow managed to speak leaving the letter E out.
It was
and it was one of the most brilliant things I've ever. I don't know how you did it to this day. You nailed it so well, and it was great. And I still don't know how it was done. And the fact that you were like, I don't really do notes. That was brilliant work. I don't know how you did it, but I loved it. Sweet. Still think about it.
Oh,
Yeah, I think it was that I pitched the system was fate, and so you could basically say like my character can do this. And our DM was like, okay, I'll let you split yourself into like small sentient parts, but there has to be like a drawback. And we settled on, okay, if a piece of me is missing, then that piece we would roll, I think, didn't we?
Yeah. It was a D26
to see what letter was missing with that little bit of me.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah. And I lost a vowel. It was horrifying.
You lost the most popular vowel in Scrabble, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's quite nice. I like that.
That was fun though. Yeah. I really like the fate system actually. I just like that you can kind of make whatever you want.
I realize now that you and I, whenever we play together, we always end up being insane. Like we never just pick like the very first time we ever played D&D, I was a hobgoblin shaman who, in order to summon, like my totems, where I collect the balls of my fallen victims, and I would summon them, but they never would help me because I literally cut off their balls. So like, why would we help you, idiot? So that was terrible. And Dodger's character was a pyromancer who could only self-immolate.
Nice.
But you had to roll to put yourself out. And when you failed your roll, we had to like dump water on you. Like that's what we did. And I realized that's what I think I understood, that at the end of the day, it's kind of D&D is a like a piece of bread, but what you put on the bread is what's important.
Yeah.
Like it's, what you layer that with. Are you making a sandwich? Are you making some toast? What are you doing? But it's the bread is the, like, this is the vehicle for your journey, but you're about to determine what it's going to be and how you're going to eat. And I love that stuff. That's so much fun.
I do think since starting to play Pathfinder, I'm in a Pathfinder game now. Mm-hmm. I feel like Pathfinder has kind of a bad rap for making you do too much math, which I have not found to be the case so far. But Pathfinder really does not take itself seriously at all. The sort of things that it lets you just be like, yeah, my character can do this now are sometimes so silly and like maybe useless. And I love that. Like, it's fine to just make a character that is kind of useless. And I enjoy that. I don't know.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
At the game the other day, I played a kobold cleric called Melton John, because it was a musical D&D game, and it just went backwards from there.
Amazing.
He'd been a blacksmith. He was naturally talented with his hands. But he quite like helping people, right? He wanted to heal them. And of course, he melted people because he was Melton John. And then now and then, to summon his god to do the healing, there would be an Elton John song in there. But that's just coincidence, obviously. It was very cool. We destroyed a lot of things. I actually think he was a warlock. I think if I played him long term, he'd be a warlock who thought he was a cleric.
Yeah.
Didn't quite realize he'd been cursed with the melting hands. Yeah, I'll think about it. But sometimes you just go with, sometimes the name is so strong, you can just go backwards on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all very Douglas Adams, isn't it? Missing vowels.
Again, no idea how you did, like, there was never a moment where you messed up.
Yeah.
And that's what shocks me. Is my brain can't compute not using certain vowels in words and being able to speak full sentences. Yeah. Your name was Eugene. Think about the amount of E's in that name.
Yeah.
Love it.
Good old Ugin.
Yeah, old Ugin.
Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness. Jesse, do we have any news?
Is
before
it that
we wrap
time?
up today? It is
news
time.
Of course we have news. Oh my goodness. Hey, in the news to start with, Gamescom's next week. Hilariously, Gamescom, then followed by PAX, then Tokyo Game Show. So to all the devs and PR teams and anyone going to all of those, rip.
Exhausting.
Wish you luck.
There've been so
Enjoy
many
the con crud
man.
that you're definitely gonna get. Yeah.
Thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers.
Yes. And now that E3's gone, Gamescom has become the biggest, if not the biggest, one of the biggest shows in the world. And as a person who's been there it is like not just big, it's like apocalyptically big. 400,000 people big.
So much. It's overwhelming.
Crazy. Yeah. And Felix Falk, who is the managing director of Game, which runs Gamescom, has pitched the idea that kind of Gamescom is the newest E3. And especially now that in the past, E3 would be the announcement, Gamescom would be where you'd play. Well, now there are more announcements happening at Gamescom than ever. I guess 1,500 games are going to be there this year, which is the biggest it's ever been.
God.
Massive. And some of the games that everyone's been waiting for are finally going to show up, like we talked about in the past. Silk Song will actually be there. We got confirmation. They said it's going to be there. We'll wait. We'll wait and see. It may not exist, but we'll wait. And so that's going to be huge. And then if you're curious what's going to actually show up in the announcement part of that, Jeff Keighley once again doing his opening night live on Tuesday the 19th, 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. British, and if you're an Aussie, 5 a.m. on the 20th. So rip.
Brutal.
Rip. Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of very topical for us today, our favorite, one of our favorites, one of the best, love him to death, Larian CEO Sven Vink says, hey, I want to share with you what's coming in the next game, but I can't, so deal with it. I really want to. Literally, I really want to share with you what's happening, but please be patient. So, yeah, we have no clue what's coming next, but my hope, fingers crossed, we get some sort of Dragon Commander again, because that was one of the craziest experiences I've ever had in my entire life. Again, I found and dated a demon, used her to conquer the world, and then sacrificed her for more power. What a great story. Loved every minute of that. Big fan. Want more of it. Please and thank you. But the next crazy thing is coming. We don't know what it will be, but I wouldn't expect it to be anytime soon because they make them big games. So, you know, it'll be a while. Then I thought this was kind of interesting. Speaking of the horror movies we talked about today, Weapons, which just came out, which has been in crazy good reviews, and in 48 hours or something like that, made back all the money it cost to make the movie. So congrats to them.
That must feel great.
Yes. Yeah. Looks like the director of that film, Zach Kreger, is also the director of the new Resident Evil movie that is coming out, which is going to not be a Mila Jovovich one. It's going to be an entirely reboot thing for Resident Evil. And for those of you who are wondering, what's the story going to be? What is it going to be, Claire or Jill, or you're like, who's going to be? None of them. He said basically, go play the games if you want to see that story. We're telling another story in the world, which I'm fine with. I'm okay with that. It's a solid gateway entry into Resident Evil. I'm never a fan of when they try to take a one-to-one adaptation of a game and put it in a movie, because games are like 12, 20, 40 hours, and a movie's 2. So it never works. So please, yeah, I'm here for a story that's going to be its own cool thing. But if Wesker shows up at the end and he's like, looks like we have to get Resident Evil, I'm here for it. I want that. I would love that. I don't know why he would do that, but I would love that. Then in the world of consumer hell, I hate this, but also it's I have to talk about it. McDonald's had a Pokemon promotion that was going on, and it was supposed to last for a few days, and it was canceled because basically everyone was so hype on getting this new Pokemon stuff, which if you haven't seen it, the cards are straight up just Pikachu eating a hamburger. He's like trying to get it's so cute. I understand why everyone wanted it. However, people wanted the cards and not the McDonald's, which I also understand. And so they descended upon the McDonald's, got the cards, threw away the food. And it led to so much food waste, they were like, shut it down. They were just like, we're just wasting so much product. Shut it down. And so now it's been canceled. And again, a lot of the reason for those who are curious is it's just straight up scalpers going and buying a ton of stuff. Again, not a fan of scalpers, never will be. And yeah, I hate this because in reality, this is for fans and more importantly, like a kid who wants to have a Pikachu eating a
Children.
hamburger.
Yeah.
And I hate when it's
children.
like an adult going and buying 50 Happy Meals. It's like, dude, what are you? Not a fan. But they're selling online for, as you can imagine, a ton of money. And
Of
so
course.
they were like, nah. And again, this happened before. In 2023, they had the Van Gogh Museum and they had the Pikachu Van Gogh. And that caused a chaos thing happening where the Pokemon company had to be like, we're so sorry. And then this happened again, which, rampant consumerism. It's cool.
I don't know,
kids.
Jesse. I mean, I think they'd learn.
You would think. But I feel like, from a corporate perspective, there's someone in a room being like, yes, think of all the money we just made, rather than those poor kids, which.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the money's made on the resale, though. The money's made not going to them when the scalpers resell it. So just stop doing limited edition stuff.
Yeah.
Saturate the market, then it's worth nothing.
Yeah, that's so sad. Then over on the Sam Lake side of the pond, Remedy has recently been talking about their new game Firebreak, which is sort of in the world of Control, and it's basically like a Left 4 Dead style shooter. They were talking about how they're not really happy with the amount of sales it had done, and they're still going to work on it and add more things. And all I'll add to this is it has the exact same vibe for me as Darktide, a game that when it first came out, I played for a little bit and was like, all right. And now a year later, I am playing like a crazy person. They added so much new content and I love it. And so I feel like this is the same vibe where the game came out and the more content they add, the more they create with it, the better it'll get. And yeah, my hope is that it will end up the exact same way where I played Darktide for like 5 hours when it launched. Now I've leveled every character to max. So like, very clearly it hit me at the right time now. So fingers crossed that they continue to work on it and create more. Very excited for that. And then finally, this one, I just want to let you know, brace yourself, chat. This is a Jesse Cox moment of true, just, sometimes I feel like some of the billionaires should just not talk sometimes. Anyway, here we go.
Yeah.
Former PlayStation US boss Sean Layden says the price of video games should have been rising with every new generation to cover the increase in development costs. I think it's because everyone's afraid, he suggested. No one wants to be the first one to raise the price because you're afraid to lose traffic. So what you do is you just end up eating into your own operating income, your profit margin. There were more sports cars in the parking lots of the PS1 era than there are in the PS4 era. Because if you're selling 20 million units at $60 for something that only costs 10 million to make, that's different than selling 20 units at $60 for something that cost 160 million to make. Just let that sink in. According to the article, Layden said that the games should have increased in price with every generation, but the industry just somehow refuses to do so. And as long as we continue to grow, even though we're not making money, somehow we can't die. This industry is going to fall apart, is what he says. So basically, this is a please increase the cost of games, which, as you know, I am not for and never will be. No. But here we are. And I don't, it's insane to me that the reasoning is, back in PS1 days, we were rocking sports cars. Today, no sports cars. Oh, we got minivans? Terrible. Hate this. I'm like, bro, that's the most out of touch statement I've ever heard.
I was
just can't believe it.
Like, if ever somebody could make a statement that made it really clear that they have zero connection with like normal people and how normal.
Won't someone think of the billionaires?
Yeah. Yikes.
God, if only this guy could have another sports car.
Oh, yes, my normal car. Yeah, not even
I love that. It sounds
mode.
like he's almost been held to account, almost. And he's really annoyed that people keep asking him.
Yeah.
Like he's this close, yeah. So that's yikes. But again, let me remind everyone, boy, do I hate when business guys are in charge of the arts. Never been a fan. Do not like it. It's entertainment. It should be there to lift you up or make you feel things or tell a story or be like something important in your life. And when a guy's like, we love what you've created, but it's costing us too much money, or we don't think we're going to get enough money in return. I hate that, and I always will. And it's stories like that where it's like, we just can't afford more sports cars. I'm like, why? So there we go. That's the news.
Oh my goodness.
Hey!
Yay, a round of applause.
Round of applause.
Well done, Jessup. Sam, thank you so much for coming on the show. You were an amazing guest.
Thank you for having me. I didn't seem to have derailed it enough, but you got to the news in the end.
We did.
Next time.
Would you like to tell everybody where they could find you, what you're up to?
Yeah, so I am on Blue Sky, Twitter for my sins, and now Instagram, where I will be posting new games. So I have a little folder that says games, so you can see all the new games I've got coming out. It's really cool. I will be at Gamescom, but apparently I won't see you because there's going to be about 5 million people there. So yeah, good luck to us all. I'll be at DragonCon in a couple of weeks' time. Heard that's pretty big. Won't be at PAX West this year. No PAX West for me this year, boo, because they clash. But yeah, that's the next couple of weeks. And then some cons in Europe, which is really exciting. We've got Belgium and we've got Stockholm in Sweden as well coming up. So yay. Yeah, come over, say hi. The water's warm. I don't bite without consent, obviously. Yeah, sorry, this is me. I'm not even drunk anything. This is what I'm like. Yeah, so Insta's a new one. I'm kind of trying it out, seeing what's going on. Yeah, come over, say hi. There's some really cool stuff happening there.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Jesse, what are you up to?
Well, as per usual over on the main channel, this will be up later today. But also, there's a new Tell Me About coming out soon, hopefully, about factory games like Factorio and all those things. Have an amazing guest for that. And then the next one is speedrunning, featuring 3 of the biggest names in speedrunning. So tune in for that. That'll be super fun. Also, the weird channel I've created to test the algorithm on YouTube is still going. Too old for this. The last videos we reacted to are all sorts of goofy stuff like Labubu's and some guy who builds secret rooms and homes. More stuff is coming, so please go check that out. But more importantly, for the sake of, I think I can say this now, and if I can't, this was a dream, and ignore this. At the end of the month at PAX West, I'll be hosting a panel called Storytime with Yoshi P. And it will be it'll be on the main stage at PAX. So that should be super fun. And
nice.
It's story time. So that'll be 1 hour of the man, the myth, the legend himself telling you all sorts of goofy stories about being in the games industry. And I get to sit there and be like, yep, this is great. So
this guy.
Yeah. And if I wasn't allowed to tell you that, I'm pretty sure I was. But if I wasn't, this was a dream.
Yes.
You heard nothing.
Sorry, what was that, Jesse? I just wasn't listening there.
I blacked out, huh?
I didn't say anything.
Okay.
This was a dream.
Man, you guys going to all your cool conventions. I'm not going to any conventions, but I am debuting my new model on the 24th. So that's in a little over a week. Got some really fun stuff planned for that. So that'll just be on stream. But other than that, just playing games. It's summer, so my kids running Riot, which is very fun, but makes things a bit harder to wrangle and keep consistent. So we're doing our best over here. Mm-hmm. But thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this and you'd like to watch other Geekenders, they are all on youtube.com/Jesse Cox. And we're on all of the podcast stuff, apps, things. So you can just listen to our beautiful voices, but miss out on the visual goofs, unfortunately. So,
and there are just so many.
And there are so many. They're rampant.
So many. You should just watch it.
Yeah, maybe you should. Maybe listen to a little bit and then watch it as well. I don't know. But have an amazing weekend and start of your next week, and we will see you the following Friday. Bye-bye, everybody. So long.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, you know what time it is. It's time for the Geekenders podcast. MegaRan, Jesse and Dodger, what up? Let's go. Yo, it's the weekend. Yeah, it's time to geek out. Let it begin. Go on streaming. and shout. It's Jesse and Dodger, so give them a follow and see what the Geekenders are all about. Yo, it's the weekend. Yeah, it's time to geek out. Let it begin. Go on, scream and shout. It's Jesse and Dodger, so give them a follow. #1 geek podcast, without a doubt. Yo, another end of another long week. Got a job and a kid, I know that you all beat. So take a second, grab a drink and vibe while we catch you up in just a matter of time. On gaming, comics, whatever you're doing. If you're nerdy like us, then you know you should tune in. Thank you for sharing our world with us. Now follow, subscribe, and turn this up. Yo, it's the weekend. Yeah, it's time to geek out. Let it begin. Go on, scream and shout. It's Jesse and Dodger, so give them a follow. #1 geek podcast, without a doubt.